Welcome, everybody, to the Level Up Show. I'm Sean T. McIntyre. I'm so excited for today's guest. He's a world-renowned business strategist and entrepreneur. Through his experience and success, he has turned spiritual guide and life coach. Since then, he has helped thousands all over the world reach their true potential. I want to welcome to the show the one and only Mr. Danny Morel. How you doing, Danny?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for joining, and yeah, very excited to have you. I've been following your work, man, and the one thing that I love, even just in the intro, where you help people find their true potential. There's a difference between just sort of working for what we think our potential might be, but actually underneath some of the things we're going for is a true potential. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, for sure. Yeah. You know, it's interesting, but so everything that a human being believes about themselves is as a result of their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And those thoughts, feelings, and emotions have been compounded in the past, due to the past. And so I'm actually going to grab my Apple Pencil here, and I've used this illustration before. So, you know, essentially what happens is most human beings try to change their life from the present to the future. But the problem is that you don't have leverage that way. So the way that you gain leverage is to go into the past, right? And when you go into the past, then you can direct the future. And so what most people do is they go out there and they try to change their life, and yet they're on autopilot because they have been programmed to believe certain things about themselves, certain things about the world, certain things about society, certain things about money, health, relationships, based off of their own experiences. And what the ego does is the ego grabs those experiences and makes them true and locks you into a box. And so our journey in life is all about having the courage to go backwards, to heal the past, right? And when we heal the past, then we can change the future. And in some of the work we do, I actually just posted a story on this in my Instagram story. My friend Jose, for example, Jose came to me when he first started working with me. He was making, I think, like $90,000 a year. He was a chain smoker. He never saw his children. He was working 7 days a week, and he was 70 pounds overweight. And, you know, today he's making over $1.5 million a year. He works maybe 4 days a week. He stopped smoking, and he's able to vacation and spend time with his family. Why? Because his life, his money, his body, his relationship with his wife and his children at that time in his life was all based off of a programming that he had. All we helped him to do was just change the program. That's it.
I love that you touched on a few things already that I was going to ask you, and so you started to hit upon it already, which is the one thing that I have been seeing from working with entrepreneurs and CEOs is there seems to be this mentality, Danny, of okay, if we're lacking results, just layer on more effort, more time, more.
Right.
And so I was going to ask you the question: is there a difference between creating a new future or healing? And you just answered that, which is when I bring up something along the lines of slowing down in order to go faster, in order to optimize, that's exactly what I hear you saying is we're going back and we're doing that inner work versus just focusing externally. Right. Does that make sense?
Well, that was my life. See, that was my life for the majority of the time in which I built my business. And so, from the outside, everybody thought that I was successful. And everybody thought that I was successful because my company, at that time, we were selling 2,500 homes a year, which is a little over 200 something a month. We had 400 agents working for us. We had a staff of 30 to 35 people. Revenue was 40 million a year. And we did 1 billion in annual sales, right? I live in this big, beautiful, custom built Tuscan villa style home. I drive a nice car. I'm married with children, but deep inside, when all of this was quiet, and when I was in my bed, and when I was like trying to fall asleep and I couldn't fall asleep, I was miserable. I was miserable. And I had no idea that I was miserable, Sean, because I had just bought into this idea that this is how life was. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the thing that changed my life, which, everybody is on their journey.
Yes.
And everybody's timing is different. And I say this because I have family members and friends that have seen me transform my life, right? And they still won't ask. All right, how do I do it? Because everybody's on their journey, and you got to get to the point where it's like, enough is enough. I can't take this anymore. And for me, Sean, that point happened when my mom passed away. And that's what changed everything for me.
I so relate to your story, Danny, because that was my story too. It was a second failed marriage, working harder, making more money, but just broke on a higher level. And just really looking at my life being like, oh my gosh, I'm literally repeating the past all over again.
That's
just
right.
A different name, a different face, same reality, and the same feeling inside.
That's right. And so let's talk about marriage.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about marriage, because you see, what most especially, I don't know you, but I can tell you're disciplined, you're driven, you're successful, you look healthy, you're in shape, right? So the body is also a reflection of what's going on inside, right?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to marriage, and particularly men, right? Men are being brought up in this culture and in this society to look for success outside of them.
Absolutely.
Right? So for a man, for example, especially an A-type man like I used to be, and probably like you used to be, we lead with the car keys, right? We lead with the car outside and valet. We lead with come to my house. Because that's what, wounded, and I'm going to get to that, wounded women are looking for is that success. What the wounded woman doesn't understand is that for a man to have that kind of power, normally 999 and a half times out of 1,000 in this world, they're not connected to themselves. They can't be. They're not connected to their hearts, because the heart is literally silent, and the mind is only looking for, how do I become more successful? Because the more successful I am, the more people will like me, the more money that I have, the more that I will feel safe, and I will avoid this feeling inside of me that I have not had the courage to really tap into. So when you look at most of our leaders and teachers and thought leaders and influencers and so forth and so on, no one understands this. Everyone just keeps saying, you got to grind harder. You got to get back up. You got to keep pushing. My question to everybody is, when will it stop?
Oh my gosh, Danny.
When do you have peace? When will you be able to just literally sit on the couch? When will you be able to ever go on vacation and not check your phone? When will you be, you know what, man? When will you have the kind of life where you could have all the money you want, because there's nothing wrong with money, but also be able to live like the guy that sells, trinkets on a beach, who's just as happy?
Oh my gosh. Totally. Totally, dude. Danny, I hear you. So I got to tell you a story just based on what you said, because like that was what I discovered, in waking up. And I know we're going to talk about this. I literally, and I didn't know it, I found through my programming that I always looked for people who had certain problems, so I could be like this hero. And in finding these people who are like, they got problems, then it was like, good, I can fix you. But little did I know that everything seemed to break in my reality. Yeah, finances went out the window. I had to work harder. She didn't actually validate me. She validated me in just trying to take care of everything. And so what I ended up finding is, as soon as these women sort of started to find their own self and their own like sovereignty, that triggered something else in me that I was like, I don't like this. And so my program was being threatened.
That's right.
And so I was like, oh my God, I was in this like
So,
box that I couldn't get out of.
so you had 2 failed marriages, right?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you the second wife was literally a carbon copy of the first.
Carbon.
Carbon, just a different name.
7 years, 2 kids, 7 years, 2 kids.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Right? So what happens here, I'm gonna go at this twofold, right? So number one, Sean, where I was getting at this is like, when you are constantly looking for, as a man, the next goal, the next accomplishment, the next car, the next big house, the next $1 million, then you don't understand how to be at peace. Because you are looking for achievement. Your power principle is achievement. So now watch this. Ladies, don't get mad at me, but this is just being the honest to God truth here, right? So then if the world tells you that achievement means you make millions of dollars and you have a big house and you have a nice car, whatever it is, what does the world tell you that achievement looks like in terms of your relationship with a woman? What does she look like is the number one priority of a man. Right? Because he is not connected to his heart. His mind is looking for his mind mate. And if the mind is out there looking for more power, more recognition, more success, he needs a woman that looks a certain way so that he can get the recognition that his mind is looking for.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then he becomes the hero. Why? Because that man, right, which is, I'm going to say it, 99,999 out of 10,000 successful men in this world, right? The reason why that man wants to save someone is because he loves to give. He wants to give because giving makes him feel powerful. It makes him feel needed. And you know what else it does? It makes him avoid the scariest shit of his life, which is receiving love. And the reason why receiving love is so scary is because his heart has been broken. Normally by his mother when he was a little boy, whether she intended it or not. So he's been living this entire story, this entire program out of a broken heart. And the only way that a man will ever find his soul mate is to stop looking for a mind mate. And the only way for a man to stop looking for a mind mate is to start the journey of every human being here on this planet who is ready to awaken. It's the scariest journey, is the journey from the mind to the heart, to calm the mind and literally be able to say no to women, no to power, no to alcohol, no to drugs, no to all of the things that the world tells me that I need. I'm saying yes to me, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to deal with this shit on my own. I'm going to take time to really love myself and discover who I really am. And once a man's heart opens, only then, you know what the greatest dating app on planet Earth is? The heart. The heart will literally attract your soulmate. Your mind, dating apps, you're just fulfilling the need of the mind or more.
Oh my gosh, Danny, while you're saying that, what I kept hearing was the need for validation versus the need for being vulnerable.
Yeah, man.
And as a broken man, because I also came from a broken family, and I had this idea that if I got into a relationship and got married, I proclaim this, I would never do what my father did to me, which was leave. but it literally happened anyway. It literally happened. I couldn't control it. And so I totally get what you mean, where you're trying so hard, but it's like water going through your fingers. You can't stop it. Even if you got the right intention, like meaning even if it's like, no, I'm not going to have a failed marriage, which is one thing, versus, okay, how do I actually become whole? And
so now think about this, right? So now think about this. Isn't it the same thing as I'm not going to eat that cookie?
absolutely, totally.
It's the same thing. And so what most human beings don't understand is that they're trying to lose weight, they're trying to diet, they're trying to make more money. So let's talk about this. These are the three energies of human mastery: food, money, and sex. So when you're not in your heart and you're trying to avoid bad things and you say, this is it. By the way, all seminars are built this way.
Yes.
All seminars are built off of this like motivation. It doesn't work. You want to change your life and your health? Let's talk about food. Start loving yourself.
Yes.
Start loving yourself so much that you will no longer eat some of the things that you used to eat, and you'll instead eat the things that your body is asking you to eat. And by the way, let's talk about the bodybuilding industry for a little bit. This is some of the toxic people there are. They're sticking themselves with all of these things, and the world thinks that they're healthy. There is no unhealthier human being on the planet than a bodybuilder.
Yep.
And let's talk about the mentality, right? Of I'm going to go do all of these things to then get on stage, to then like for one moment get a trophy or whatever the case may be, right? And you know, because I know, because I was a part of it as well, you know?
Yeah.
And it's ultimately a sign of not having love for yourself, right? So then there's food, right? The next one is money. I used to go to seminars for years, and yeah, it made me money, but every time I left that seminar, what would I say? You know, this time is it. This time I'm going to make it happen. This time I'm going to call every day. I'm going to door knock every day. This time. And you know what I realized after 10 years? I kept going to the same seminar saying, this time is it. And you know what I started to realize? There's got to be a different way.
Totally.
And when I looked, the man leading the seminar was 80 years old. God bless him. I love him. He changed my life. But he was 80 years old, still talking about you got to pick up the phones. And I thought, you know, I don't know what I'm going to be doing at 80, but I for damn sure as hell am not going to be working as hard as that man. This is no longer working for me, right? So what I started to learn is that the same way that the heart can attract a woman, right? That's the next one. The heart can literally attract money.
Yes. Yes.
The soul can literally attract money. That is how powerful you are. You are a representation of God. You are literally universe. There is no separation between you and the universe, and you and God, and there is nothing limiting you other than your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So you want more money? I'll tell you how to get it. Go into the past and heal the story that you have about money, right? That caused you to fear money or say that money was scarce or whatever the case may be. And you know what the really crazy thing is? You're going to discover that money is literally you.
Yes. Yes.
Representation of you. It's just an energetic, real world, tangible representation of you, your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. That's why we work with people and they start making 90,000 a year, then they're making $1 million a year without even working. Why? Because they're abundant beings now, and abundant beings receive abundance. Last but not least, sex. Totally.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and this gets deep, but we live in a world where the thing that creates us, there's shame around it. And that's by design, because if you could shame the thing that creates us, you can shame the human being. And so when it comes to sex, we're in these relationships where, number one, a woman's body doesn't open up for her man naturally. A woman naturally should just start flowing. It should just, within a minute or so, she sees her love, because true love, true soulmates, they're connected at the heart, not up here. Not up here, right? Same thing for a man. Like a man should be like ready to go, right? It's just because he sees his woman, and it's not even about how she looks. It's about how she looks. It's about how she loves him. It's about how she speaks. It's about her intelligence. It's about, yes, her body and her beauty as well. It's about her kindness. It's about her heart. It's about all of it. It's this connection where a man literally wants to make love to his woman, and a woman wants to receive love from the man, right? And this is the beauty. This is like the juice of life. And again, 99,999 out of 10,000 couples, it's an act. It's
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minutes later, you roll over and it's fucking done. What kind of bullshit is that?
Totally. That's the, you're speaking to what you said, and man, you're hitting every bell along the way. It's just, coming from that fitness industry, and by the way, I totally agree with you, because fitness and health, they're totally different. Fitness is not health, right? And even sex, because from that world, I would visualize and look at these people and be like, okay, and I'd have a certain chemical running through my body, through my visual, senses of appearances outside, until I realized, oh my gosh, connecting, and it's an experience to connect on the heart, and then to fall in love, fall down into the act, connect on the heart first. It's no bullshit, man. Like what you're saying is real. There's an energy beyond the physical.
Brother, it's because it's because I lived it.
Totally.
It's because and like my message to everybody is, whether it's your health or your body, your money, or if you want the love of your life, I am telling you, I guarantee it. As a matter of fact, no human word exists to help you understand, not even truth, not even guarantee. It's you. You're the creator. You're creating the whole thing. So if you can just heal the past, then you heal the future, because the outside world is just a reflection of the inside world, And then I'm going to say something else.
Yeah.
Gotta start taking personal responsibility. Because for so many of us, it feels so good and so righteous to blame somebody else. Right. So, for a while there, when I went through my divorce, it was like, yeah, but I was unhappy because she did this and she didn't do this and she didn't do this. And I go, when you heal, you realize, oh my God, but who were you being in the relationship that caused her to be that way with you? Right. Because when a woman feels safe, I'm watching there's no words. I'm watching a goddess who I'm in relationship right now, who was literally in her masculine melt. The masculine melt away. When a woman feels safe, she gives you her all. She'll give you her life because she knows she can trust you. That's how beautiful love is. And then when a man is in his masculine, he is able to receive that life, that heart, that soul, because he knows God has entrusted her and only her to him. So he is able to provide that safety for her, and she is able to just let go and be her true divine goddess self. And I just wish the world could understand this, because life is so beautiful when you get there, man. So beautiful.
So, you're talking about what a lot of people.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
this is for the men out there, right? Because the men out there, you know, I'm just gonna go say it. Like,
Yeah.
you know how many men struggle with like pornography, for example?
Totally.
You know, it's like, because it's the secret life that you're living, right?
Yeah.
And it's the secret thing that you are living in because you don't even realize it. You're in the energy of shame. So when the energy of shame is within you, then guess what you do? You do shameful things. Listen, that used to be me. So no, I'm not judging. I'm not anything. And I used to, right? Same thing. I used to tell myself, that's it, never again. That's it. This is the last time. That's it. I'm not doing this anymore. But again, you're in the mind. You're in the mind until you tap into your heart and you can learn to love a woman, right? The feminine, right? And you can learn to respect her. Then until then, that will just seem normal to you. Once you truly love women and you respect femininity and you can see the darkness that is taking place in front of you, you'll never touch it again. I'm like getting disgusted just by even thinking about it, because it's like, it's no longer a thing. It's no longer I'm going to do it this time. No, it's just not, it can't be allowed. It's gone. It's gone forever.
You know, it's so truthful what you're saying. And another thing that you're just bringing up is this whole good versus bad argument going on inside that I feel a lot of men, they don't even go there. Again, that's what keeps them trapped outside, is they're not willing to even feel that darkness, not just like get it in their mind, because the mind will kick you out, right? But to truly feel it.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough for me to say the absolute truth because I get messages and I don't think people are ready for them. So when you just saw that shiver, that was me. That was, okay. All right, here we go. So look, so there's a brother in my life, right? This is a wonderful brother that struggles with diet, struggles with discipline, struggles with everything. This is a brother that's in my program, right? And where, like, you know, other people are exploding, he's still having a little bit of a difficult time, right? And yet every day that brother posts something on his Instagram stories that sounds like this: "Dear God, forgive me for my transgressions and for my sins. I know that you have mercy on me." And I don't even know what they say, but you see, the whole thing with religion is it's designed to keep you from ever knowing yourself. And this whole good versus bad thing, this whole sin thing, it doesn't exist.
Totally.
There is no sin. It's just you being a human being, right? And for a lot of people, it's very difficult to allow themselves to truly accept that. But because accepting that means you're accepting yourself, right? Yes. And you're accepting the dark parts of you with the light parts of you, the parts that you're not too happy with the parts that you love. And you learn to dance with them, and you learn to be okay that, yes, I'm a human being. And sometimes I'm going to think some bad thoughts, and sometimes I'm going to be very disciplined, and sometimes I'm not. And everything is going to be okay.
Yes. Yes. Acceptance. It's like your transformation is in your acceptance. Starts right there.
That's it.
It's I love it. You know, the metaphor that just drops in as you say that, Danny, is like, it's like a battery in your car. You don't just put both booster cables on the positive, right? You need one on the positive, one on the negative in order to get this energy flowing. Otherwise, you're resisting, right?
You go. That's right, brother. That's right, man.
So I love what you're saying. It's so powerful. And From the eyes of your higher self, because I know you do a lot of work around the higher self.
Yeah.
The higher self, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sees everything, and it sees it with love. Everything is love. Everything is one. Everything is wholeness. And is that where you take people to, is learning the characteristics of what the higher self is?
Yeah. So I have an event called Awaken, right? And at that event, what we do is we teach people and help them understand the different scopes and the different realms of energy. There is negative energy,
Yes.
guilt, shame, etc. Desire, which is when we were talking about the man, and that's desire, that he's running from stuff, but it's all on the negative side. And then there's positive energy, which is
Yes.
love and acceptance, right?
Totally.
And so, you know what the thing is in the middle? It's courage. Courage.
Yes.
Courage is the thing that helps a human being jump over to the other side, right? And so this is why this is so important, because when we at Awaken, we take people through 6 spiritual experiences, 3 meditations. One of them is really, really deep. It's a mother-father meditation. And the reason why we do that is because God showed me that a father and a mother is the masculine and feminine representation of the energy of God. And so if you have unhealed trauma with your mother and your father, I'm telling you right now, it's going to show up in your love life, in your body, and in your money. And so literally I was in the middle of the event and I just started, it was literally like, say this, now say this, now say this, now say this, now say this. And so, and people are yelling and screaming and they're releasing and their arms are up in the air. Body started to heal. Money started to flow. Relationships started to come back together. It was beautiful. It was because they were able to heal, or at least start the healing journey within, right? So the reason why I came up with the event is because through my work with plant medicine, which changed my life, I started to think like, oh my God, like life could literally be so awesome. And yet, you know, I know that everyone's not going to want to do plant medicine like I did. Yep. Understandably. Yep. So I thought, what can I do to put together an experience for human beings who have the courage to change their lives, right?
Yes.
What can I do to put together an experience like that, where at the end of the experience, it's just as powerful if they were to do plant medicine? And that's what Awaken is.
Awaken. I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what Awaken is. Yeah. The thing is, Sean, and this is the challenge, and I very rarely do this. And this is for all of the people watching me live right now, because I've been watching you comment, right? And this is for all the people listening to me here.
Yes.
Nothing changes unless you have the courage to get out of your way. So let's take an event like this one, for example. Yes. Come, don't come. It doesn't. That's your journey. But what most people do is they'll go, okay, right off the bat, how much is the ticket? I don't know how much, Casper, how much is this ticket? $300? Something like that. I think it's $300. Okay. What most people do right off the bat, they'll go $300. And the story of the past of money go, oh my God, but that's a lot of money. But what am I going to do? But when am I going to get the time off of work? But oh my God, but then I got to get the hotel, and then I got to get the flight, and then why do you think you don't have money?
Totally.
So you have to have the courage to say, I don't care. I don't care if I have to drive. I don't care if I have to walk. I don't care if I have to sell my TV. I don't care if I have to stand on a corner and sell water, but I am going to get there. And you know what you do in that moment? You finally open your heart up to the beauty and the possibilities of life, because you finally say to yourself, I love myself so much that I don't care what this thing says. Can I show you how this translates to love real fast, Sean?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I was in Italy, and I took the woman of my dreams on this beautiful trip to Italy. and we rented a car, and we drove all around Italy. We went from Rome to Tuscany to Florence to Portofino to Lake Como. You know, it's just beautiful. This is important because I'm going to tell you how the ticket thing shows up in other areas of your life, and how you, when you get past that, you can get past other things, right? So it was the day before we left, and we said, you know, let's go to Switzerland. So Lake Como is on the border. It's like right on the border, and we happen to be like a 20-minute drive to Switzerland, right? For all of you that want to find the love of your life, especially you men, pay attention. So we go to Switzerland, we're walking around. You know, I haven't done too much like high-end shopping recently because I went like uber spiritual, no TV, no suits, no nothing. I'm working myself out of that right now, you know? So we're in this like high-end district. There's all these luxury brands. I haven't been around them in a while. I was like, this feels kind of nice. Like this feels kind of nice. I'm no longer attached to it, but it's nice. Well, we go into the jewelry store. We go into this jewelry store, showing some of the most beautiful jewelry that I have ever seen in my life, right? And she's over there and I'm over there, and I don't know what happens. Well, we end up at this case where there's this ring. Sean, the only way that I can describe it is this. It's as if in that moment, I was able to see the future, the past, time didn't exist. And I literally saw me adorning this woman with like a room of jewelry. And I was like, what is going on here? But in that moment, I finally got it. Like I finally got the feeling that a man needs to feel in his heart, to not give a woman a gift because it serves him and because she looks good, because she's carrying the person that makes him look good. No. To give from the heart, man. So like, I can't even explain to you how delicious this feels, how incredible this feels, right? And then guess what happens, Sean? The mind kicks in. The mind kicks in. This particular woman, I waited for her for 3.5 years. For 3.5 years, I waited for her. Sean, I don't have patience for anything. I want everything to happen yesterday. But this woman, I waited. And I waited, and I would have waited 30. I would have waited whatever, you know?
Oh my
so
God.
in that moment, I see the ring. You know, I see the ring. We sat down, she tries it on. And in that moment, it's like, I want to get it for her because I will give her everything. I will give her everything, right? Guess what the mind starts saying? Wait a minute, she's not even your girlfriend. Wait a minute, there's not even a commitment. Wait a minute. And the mind starts talking me out of it. Remember the ticket. This is important. Remember the ticket. We walk out of the store. We're both like in a daze, like something spiritual just took place. We look at each other and we go like, did you just feel that? And I'm like, yeah, that was intense. That was intense. I go, what did you feel? And we start sharing with each other what we feel. And I was like, here's what I felt and here's what I saw, right? Long story short, we start looking at watches, all kinds of stuff. And I kept thinking about the ring. And I was like, I got to get this ring. But wait a minute, but what if she dumps me? What if I'm out a lot of money? It's a lot of money, right? Like, I like nice things. This is beautiful and attractive. What if she just gets rid of me? What if she was just using me this whole time to just take her on a vacation? What, like, the ego goes crazy, Sean.
Totally.
Totally. The ego is on red alert. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We walked back to the car and I said, baby, do me a favor. Just sit right here for 5 minutes. Just sit right here for 5 minutes. And I'm going to go inside, just ask some questions. She's like, okay. I walk inside and I go, listen to me right now. Here is my card. Charge me immediately. I don't want to walk out of here with a box. I don't want to walk out of here with a bag. I want to surprise her, right? I want to surprise her. I will figure out how to get it from you later, right? And I left the store. Now, Sean, let's stop for a moment. Sean, did you ever hear me say, like, I was afraid of not getting the ring? Because listen, for a lot of people, number one, I might get dumped.
Totally.
Number two, she's not my girlfriend.
Yes.
Number three, it's money. How much does it cost? There goes that one. There goes that one. Number four, I'm literally paying for the ring and I don't even walk out with it. Listen to me very carefully. A lot of people are like, you're stupid. What if they steal it from you? What if this is all fear. This is all fear. This is the condition of the human race. It is to be. And that is why humanity cannot attract the money that they want, the health that they want, or the love that their heart desires. And in that moment, I said, fuck it. I don't care.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I don't care. I don't care if she dumps me. I don't care if I lose the money. I don't care. My heart's wide open. I just want to, this was something special. Make a long story short, we go to lunch. I'm texting the lady from the sales. Can you meet me here? Can you bring it to me? Right? We go to lunch. We sit down. We're in front of this beautiful lake. We sit down. My woman is gorgeous. She's a goddess, right? So she's sitting there in all her beauty. And we have this water out there. We're eating the food and we have a great meal. We're connecting. We're in love. Everything is fantastic, right? And then the lady says, okay, I'm here. So I walk into the restaurant. I give the lady a hug. I'm so excited, right? The box is obviously from Gubelin, which is where the jewelry is from. So I asked the restaurant owner, give me 2 bottles of water and a plastic bag so I can stick it in there. So it looks like I just got water for the drive home. Sure enough, I walk outside. I'm nervous. I'm still nervous, Sean. I'm still like, my ego's still going crazy, right? So I'm thinking about giving her the ring at night, right? We're going to go to dinner later. And then, you know, as I sat down, here's what she says. And this is how God rewards faith. And this is how love never fails, right? I sat down, she looks at me, she goes, you know, baby, you know what I realized this trip was all about? And I said, what's that? She said, it was all about us falling in love all over again. All of my worries were dispelled in that moment. And you know what I said? I said, you know what? On that note, close your eyes. She closed her eyes. Now, before this, we were walking up to the restaurant. She said, baby, there was only 2 times that I had ever fallen in love with jewelry in my life. Once when I was a 13-year-old girl, and the second was today. But again, she has no idea I had bought it, right? So I forgot to say that part, right? She closes her eyes. I lead people in meditations. I'm making some shit up in my mind. I said, baby, close your eyes. I'm going to lead you through a meditation. She goes, okay, great. So she closes her eyes and says, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. I grab the box, I put it in front of her, and I'm like, okay, open your eyes. And when she looks down, she's like, and I'm going to tell you right now where our relationship is today, where she was able to fully surrender to our love, fully. And I was able to do it as well. It was from that moment. Totally. Because as the man, I took the leap of faith. As the man, I led us. As the man, I was able to say, I don't care. I'm willing to risk it all. I'm willing to lose it all for you. And that's what a woman really desires. She desires to feel safe. And when she's able to do that, whatever happened to her heart in her past, it is able to start blossoming and opening little by little. Game over after that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Danny, that's an incredible story. That is an incredible story. And as you're telling that story, there's so many moments in my life that are just like, check. It's like, yes. And when you're talking about courage to create a new future and not let the mind or the ego keep you safe in the same old box.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing you say courage is related to the love in your hearts, to have the courage to get into your heart.
That's it.
And when that opens, that's the new reality. That's on the other side of the mind. That's on the other side of not just doing battle with your head.
Brother, we're talking true spirituality here.
Yes.
We're talking true unraveling of the human being, because it takes courage for you to forgive your father. It takes courage for you to forgive your mother. It takes courage for you to forgive that person to abuse you. And trust me, I have been there in ceremony, holding my sister's hair, women's hair, while they're throwing up years and generations of trauma, right? But they have to have the courage to face that trauma, right? And I have to have the courage to hold space for them. And I only know how to hold that courage if I was able to have the courage for myself, right? I had to have the courage to forgive my father, even though he wasn't a father. What was I going to do? Hold on to that for the rest of my life? Get sick because of it? Be miserable because of it? Take it out on my kids because of it? At some point in time, you got to let it go. Humans, that's what we do at Awaken. I'm telling you right now, your life will change forever.
That is powerful, man. That is powerful. Absolutely. So, well, let's look at that. So what's the link for people to get on to Awaken?
Here, I'm going to do something crazy. Casper, can you see if Lauren is on? Call Lauren right now. Watch. I'll do something crazy. Because we live in this world where everyone thinks that it's like, I'm trying to sell you something. It's not that. I'm trying to change the world. I'm trying to help you go back to yourself. It's just that stuff costs money. Hotel rooms cost money. I want to eat. This is called value exchange, right? Is Lauren awake?
I'm trying.
You're trying? Okay, watch this. We're going to do today only, from now till 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't do this. I've never do this, Sean. Is just thank you for holding space with me while I spoke my truth.
Absolutely.
50% off. And this is for all of our live audience. And this is for anybody there that's live. 50% off when you type in the name Sean, SHAWN. 50% off until 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Give my team a little bit of time to get it going. This is my way of saying I'll meet you halfway. And if it doesn't change your life, I'll give you 3 times your money back. Just stop playing small. Just stop playing small.
And let me just add to that. Yes.
And you're my guest. So we'll get you all hooked up. And then even for the people that listen to this on podcasts, after 12 today, just type in the name Sean, SHAWN, and it'll stay at least 20% off, just as a sign of my own courage to say, I know your life is going to change, right? I know your life is going to change. And if it means I have to give something up, I will, no problem.
And Danny, this work you're doing, let me just say something real quick too, is I know from my own experience, as you have the courage to take a step forward, it doesn't have to be all of the steps, just like one step. It's like the universe, God takes 2 steps,
Yes.
10 steps. As you just take one, you don't have to even see it all. It's just like, we can do another show just on how all that works and everything, but I know this to be true. Just take one step.
Sean, ready? Just stop thinking and start feeling in your heart.
Yes.
What you feel after you heard this. God is moving right now. I know it because I feel it. You feel it. Everybody feels it. This is just universal truth that we're sharing. I just happen to be the messenger. I'm not special. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to me, you have the same gift within you.
Yes.
You just got to have the courage to take the baby step to start the healing journey. You're just as powerful, if not 10 times more powerful.
Dude, when I'm talking to people, I'm like, I want you to be more successful than me. What's flowing through me? What's flowing through you? It just takes opening your heart and it'll flow through them. It's the same place. It's the same space.
It's for everybody. It's for everybody.
So yes, this is so powerful. And, Danny, honestly, and that is, again, the ability to take action when this is talking to you, that's the courage. That's the courage. So
brother, it got me the woman of my dreams.
Mm. You know, and just even on that note, as we're just sort of moving on, I just heard something, as right before we came on, and it was from a woman who was saying, there's such a crisis out there that, men are looking for, where are all the men? Where are all the men who like need to go to the next level? And, that was me. That was me. I needed to go to the next level.
That's right, bro.
And then everything was on that next level.
That's right, bro. That's right, man. That's right. It was you. You've been creating it the whole time. That's it, man. That's it, man.
Totally.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Danny, an absolute pleasure and joy. And yeah.
I'll see you at Awaken. It's December 1st through the 3rd. My team
Beautiful.
will reach out, will give you a ticket, all that, and bring everybody. You will all remember what I'm saying right now. At the end of the 3rd day, you will be literally a brand new human being. That's my guarantee. You'll see. You'll see.
All right, guys. Absolutely. This is phenomenal. And thank you so much, Danny, for
Thank you,
your
Sean.
wisdom and for the value and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. We'll see
Thank
you.
you, brother.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yes, absolutely. Bye.